to do what you all want to do takes money. To go lobby, to get in front of GLI, to get in front of, you know, the new mayor and the Metro Council and all this, to get the people who have access, or can you do it, you know, just through influence?
I would answer that a couple different ways. I think, first of all, I think we can do it through influence in a lot of ways, and we do have the right contacts within GLI. We've both, you know, talked, you know, with Mayor-elect Fisher and whatnot at various times, and I think we have developed some ties not just within the sort of social media, technology, digital world, but also the business world in this town. So I think we can do it via influence, but I think we also are very well aware that there are some corporate interests in town that are behind what we're doing and want to see this town grow from a technology standpoint as well, because it benefits them. And so I don't think we're going to have a hard time finding some corporate sponsors that are going to help us with that mission.
The administrators at the colleges at Bellarmine, can you get into Ed Manasseh? Can you get into the people at the speech? When you do, what do you tell them?
I'm going to lay up a curriculum in front of them and say, this is what they need to know when they graduate to be of use to us. And if you're not teaching them that, you're handicapping your students, period, paragraph, in the story. And I have taught a class at U of L and said those very words, that this is what you need to know to play in this league. And if you're not learning that, go to your professors and ask why you're not. Because, you know, and we said this previously in the article, and this was not a denigration to mechanical engineering, appliance park, or manufacturing, but we are not going to grow this city, and we're not going to be prepared for the 21st century if we keep turning out mechanical engineers for appliance park as our primary objective here in town with our tech talent. And we're not going to become a city of the 21st century if we keep sitting our talent making digital plumbing as opposed to building something important. We have a whole lot of really, really smart, driven, capable people building back-end applications that no customer will ever see, that will make about 0.5% a difference on someone's bottom line. We can get those people, and in 20% of their spare time, building customer-facing stuff that can change the world, and that will make a difference.
I think that the only thing, other than saying, yeah, the only other thing I would add to what Jay has to say is it's not that we're taking the approach that we have bad developers or bad talent or bad investors even in town. It's just that we don't have enough, and we don't have enough of the right ones who are also looking at technology. We have people who are looking at manufacturing and people who are looking at biotech and people who are maybe looking at healthcare, but nobody's really opening that scope and saying, we need to think about technology in a different way if we want to be a sustainable business community down the road. We want people to continue to supply the talent for Appliance Park, and we want to continue to supply talent and leadership in the healthcare communities and the biotech communities and so on and so forth. But we also want to focus on the technology and the digital world because it's where we're going. We all know that's where we're going. Why are we not thinking ahead and making plans for that future?
All right, here's a great example. The company in town that I think is a perfect case for us is Zermed. They are a software development shop that makes software for healthcare. Your customer is sitting right here. Why is Zermed the only heavy player in that space in this town? We need 50 Zermeds. We need people making custom logistics software for people that are going to take advantage of UPS. We need 50 of those. We need people making software that helps Appliance Park run their assembly line more efficiently. Instead, we keep talking about putting more manufacturers in Appliance Park, which is not a bad thing. Bringing more healthcare companies to town, not a bad thing. But that's the end point of the ecosystem. We need to start bringing in all the other parts of it, especially on the tech side, here. And we need people who are working at Appliance Park to spend their spare time developing that software themselves. There's all kinds of talent on the bench in this town. We want to get them off the bench and in the game.
David Jones Jr., he goes, in his private venture firm, they go out of town to look for these exact kinds of companies.
Right.
Why?
No one in this town is coaching the talent to get off the bench and showing them what to do. If you're in Boston, you grow up, it's in your DNA that when the time is right, you know how to start an LLC, you know how to get your own insurance, you know how to form an IPO agreement, you know how to control your intellectual property, you know how to hire people, you know how to set up a project management system, you know all of that. It's just in the water there. That's not true here. That's our job to change it, so that when the guys that are working in the back office at all these great Fortune 500 companies here in town decide it's time for them to do their thing, they're ready. And then they can go to David Jones. The problem is there's a disconnect between we got money here that wants to invest in this, but they don't know how to find the talent. We got talent that needs money and doesn't know how to pitch it. There's a link missing there, and we want to be that link.